Mercedes Mone has claimed to put women's wrestling on the map. Melo will soon be back on the AEW map after getting medically cleared to wrestle. And Bella seems to think that she somehow did the same stuff that Toni Storm is doing in the ring right now. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. We've got some update here, some AEW Womens Division update. So rather than make a bunch of videos on stuff that isn't really that important, we thought we'd combine all three into one. Mercedes Mone thinks she's a big deal. Well, she's going to have to spend 0.33% of the spotlight with the other two chicks here. And since Mercedes Mone likes to be in the spotlight, since she likes to be number one, we're actually going to talk about her dead last. So for right now, Mercedes Mone, go take a seat at the back of the bus. Let's talk about Melo. So she was out for a long time. Not as long as her husband, although, I mean, actually probably longer than her husband. He was out because of some controversial comments and a supposedly concussion protocol follow-up that he didn't follow up on. But after having a kid, it looks like Melo is medically cleared to make her AEW return. When she will be making that return, though, we do not know, but there was a video blog during All In, or before All In just, and Sammy Guevara responded to it saying that Melo will be back soon, and Melo replied and said the following, quote, "You gotta call Tony Khan and ask him, because I don't know about that. I'm cleared though, I'm cleared. Mama is cleared, I just got cleared." End of quote. So, I mean, cleared. We heard cleared quite a lot there, but we haven't heard any sort of update on when she'll be back. Now, this does sound a little bit similar to the Guevara situation, where Guevara was ready to come back and the suspension was over, but he was just sitting on the sidelines. So, I mean, I wonder if there's beef here as well, or whether Tony Khan's just thinking, you know, this roster's bloated. I don't need to rush to bring back these two.
He doesn't need to rush to bring back Melo, right? We're talking about clear. You know what needs clear? Wrestling. Seeing you say clear before you perform CPR with a big machine. That's what this needs. Melo returning is going to do fucking nothing for this company. It's going to do nothing for her. May as well just stay at home and look after her daughter or son or whatever gender it is. Knowing these two, it's probably fucking identifying as a penguin or something. But you know what? No one's identifying as a penguin. AEW, Stone Cold, and not the good Stone Cold. Who cares about Melo, cleared or not? Honest, am I supposed to fucking sit here and pretend about Melo?
Well, you might not care about Melo, but do you care about Nikki Bella? Because she was commenting on the Toni Storm and Mariah May match from All In 2024. And this is what she said. She said, quote, "The girl's on the screen, so I was like, Tio, come and watch what Mummy used to do." And it was really cute, because it was Toni Storm versus Mariah May. And he was just in awe from their entrances, and he was watching them wrestle. I found myself cheering on Mariah May. Tio wanted Toni Storm, so we were just having fun in this little moment. I was just in awe of so many of the wrestlers and performances at All In. Toni Storm and Mariah May, there is a women's match to watch if you're not like a wrestling fan, but you're maybe like, I want to watch something. Their match from AEW All In was so incredible. The storytelling, the moves. I was just in awe of these women. End of quote. Alright, well, I mean, first of all, I will say what I actually agree with here with Nikki Bella. It was a good match. I wouldn't quite go as far as saying I was on it, but I mean, it was a good match. Certainly one of the best women's matches I've seen in a very, very long time. Probably the best women's match I've seen since Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus in the steel cage. So yeah, I mean, it was a good match, not denying that. I thought it was very, very good, but I mean, I certainly wasn't in awe of it. And Nikki Bella, I mean, saying that, telling her kid to come over and watch because this is what Mummy used to do. I mean, I'm going to call bullshit on that. You know, like, Mummy didn't used to do this. Nikki Bella, she fucking sucked, okay? She was in the company because her daddy-in-law was Johnny Laurinaitis, and then she was dating Cena for long enough to be relevant. And the fact that she was like a model and she got signed for her looks, which is fair enough. But, I mean, let's not pretend that what we seen Toni Storm and Mariah May do, that's not what we used to see Nikki Bella do on a weekly or a monthly basis. Certainly not. And then she says, this was a perfect match to watch if you're not a wrestling fan. but needs something to watch. I'm going to completely disagree with that. If you're not a wrestling fan, then there's no reason for you to be watching anything in wrestling in 2024. And I mean nothing. There's nothing going on in wrestling that would appeal to a non-wrestling fan. Now, is there certain things on certain shows that maybe appeal to somebody that is a wrestling fan but enjoys a more sports entertainment themed kind of wrestling style? Absolutely yes, but if you don't like wrestling, you ain't going to sit and watch a 16 fucking minute wrestling match. Like, what an idiot. What a dumb bitch. It just doesn't make any sense. Here, you don't like wrestling, but sit down and watch 16 minutes of this match when you don't know what's happening. You don't know who Toni Storm is. You don't know who Mariah May is. You don't know why they're fighting. You don't know how their fighting actually works. You don't know the importance of this championship belt. You don't know anything that's happened previously in this rivalry, but you're expected just to sit down and watch these 16 minutes as a non-wrestling fan, and that's somehow going to make your night great. No, if you're a non-wrestling fan, then you're going to watch a TV show that isn't fucking wrestling. I mean, you're going to sit and watch, I don't know, fucking Breaking Bad recap or something like that, or a movie, or a documentary, or the news even. If you're not a wrestling fan, you ain't going to sit down and just watch 16 minutes of a wrestling plucked out from a 5-hour show and sit and think this is great. That makes no sense to me. But yeah, the match was good. I'd go as far as saying the match was close to great. It was definitely the best match on the show. And finally, we'll talk about Mercedes Mone, because she said in her post-conference after defeating Britt Baker that she has put AEW's women on the map. Now, I mean, that's just not fucking true. I mean, she's got there, and since she's got there, she hasn't even been the standout performer. It's not like since Mercedes Mone arrived, we've been sitting here going, she's carrying the show, she's making all the other women look inferior, she's having the best women's stuff every single week. No, she is the weaker champion. She's not as good as Toni Storm. She's not as good as Mariah May. She fucking sucks on the promos. I know not a lot of women in AEW get promo time, but the ones that do, she's certainly the worst on it. So she hasn't put shit on the map. I mean, Tony Khan has put money in her bank account, but she ain't put nothing on the map. This is what Mercedes Mone said following her match. She said, quote, "I've definitely helped put women's wrestling on the map, top to bottom, in every single company that I've ever stepped in. Ever since I joined AEW, the women's division has just been flourishing to a whole new level. I feel like the women here, the storylines are way better than the men. Sorry, not sorry." End of quote. She also went on to say she's number one and stuff like that. But, I mean, to say that the women's division has been flourishing, so, I mean, and that money changes everything. Basically saying here, look, the women's division didn't mean shit until I got here. Now I'm changing the game. Now I'm bringing money to the table. I'm putting money in the women's division, and now the women's division is making money. And you've got Tony Khan just sitting here nodding along like an absolute dumbass. It's like, I mean, we've seen him sit through a 26-minute CM Punk pipe bomb. So if the guy wasn't willing to correct him back then or say something, I mean, we know that he's not going to come out and call it Mercedes Mone now, but it's like, I think you could literally sit beside Tony Khan and say, this company is dog shit, not worth a dime, and he'd probably sit and just nod and agree with you. I mean, it is kind of sad, but yeah, she wants to claim that she's put over the women in AEW. I mean, a lot of people think she's the worst thing on AEW. A lot of people think that her match was the worst match in All In, so yeah, put herself and AEW on the map. I don't really think so. She also claimed that AEW is the place to be, we're the best wrestle, and yeah, that's like money talks. She says that money talks, and the money that Tony Khan put into her bank account certainly talks. But anyway, guys, there you go. Tay Melo is cleared to wrestle. Will she be back soon? Who knows? We'll find out. And Nikki Bella thinks that she was just as good as Toni Storm when she was wrestling, and unfortunately that's just not true. She also thinks that non-wrestling fans would love a 16-minute wrestling match that they have fucking no idea about. That just makes no sense to me whatsoever. Like, that would be like a football fan, and you're telling somebody to watch 16 minutes of a football match, and they're going to love it if they're a non-football fan. Why? even if it's a 16-minute period where there's a couple of bad tackles or, a fight or something controversial, it's still football at the end of the day. So if you're not a football fan, you're not going to enjoy it. And Mercedes Moné believes that she put this company, this division, on the map. And, we know her map's full of shit because that's what she talks constantly, day in, day out. Anyway, guys, that's it. Fuck wrestling. Catch you in the next one. And, more AEW news to come soon. Till then, though, peace.